In today's near-death experience video, a woman's basic medical procedure goes completely wrong. As she begins to go numb and lose her breath, her consciousness slips over to the other side. Listen closely as she shares her journey to the other side.
So I went to my pain clinic and the doctor did a nerve block because I've been having neck pain. I need neck surgery and yada yada yada. So I'm trying to avoid the surgery, so he suggested this to help with like pain. So I went in last Wednesday morning at 9:30. When he did the procedure, I was laying flat on my stomach and he did an x-ray on top so he could see where the medicine was supposed to go in. He did tell me he was going to give me extra numbing medicine so that I wouldn't feel anything, so I'd be comfortable. And then I was really tired afterwards, so I went home and I went straight to bed. I slept a couple hours. I woke up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and when I woke up, my left hand arm was shaking uncontrollably. I couldn't get it to stop. Well, maybe the numbing medication is wearing off and this is my nerves coming back. That's what I thought was happening. So I couldn't stop it, and then a couple minutes later my foot started shaking the same way. I couldn't stop it. I was afraid to get up and walk. I was sitting in my chair in my room and I was afraid to, if I stood up, I would fall down because it was just shaking uncontrollably. And I'm like, this is weird. But again, I'm thinking, okay, it's the numbing medication wearing off, you know, my body's coming back. This is maybe just the way it comes back. I don't know. So a few minutes later, I went to swallow. And when I went to swallow, I couldn't swallow and I couldn't breathe. So I yelled for my daughter to call 911 because I couldn't breathe. It was really scary. My daughter and my son came in my room. And I said to my son, you know, how long is it going to be before they get here? I really can't breathe. And they assured me that 911 was on the way, and I was struggling to breathe, swallow. I was still shaking. It was all on my left side. My arm, my leg was all on my left side. So I told my son, I said, I don't think I'm going to make it. I don't think they're going to get here in time. I don't think I'm going to make it. They were reassuring me, no, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And during this time of talking to them, I was struggling to breathe, and I really didn't think that I was going to make it because I couldn't breathe. I talked to my children and I said goodbye to them because I really thought I was going to die. So I said my goodbyes to them. It was really hard. I told them that I loved them, of course, and I was proud of them and my daughter to live her dreams and blah, 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 blah. So then, next thing I remember, all of a sudden I said, oh my gosh, heaven is real. Heaven is real. I see heaven. And right at that point, my daughter tells me, and she can testify to this, for the next couple minutes, I stopped shaking. I was able to breathe. There was a calmness about my body for a short time. And it was during this time that I saw heaven. I remember I saw my mom. She's absolutely beautiful. Of course, the last time I saw her, she was sickly, and she didn't look like that at all. She was the most beautiful I had ever seen her. I just want to say I didn't see faces. Like, I couldn't see eyes, nose, mouth, faces. But I knew it was my mom without a doubt. And I talked with my mom, but it was like, not like I'm talking now. Then I looked over and I saw my dad for a very brief second. And then I looked forward and I saw Evangeline's twin, that she had died in my womb. And I just instantly knew it was her. She had the outline of my daughter Evangeline. They were the same age, long hair, and she had little cat ears on. And I had a conversation with her. And then I saw the most beautiful purple butterflies I'd ever seen. They were big, really big butterflies. And anybody who knows me knows I love purple butterflies. Or I love the color purple and I love butterflies. So these were purple butterflies and they had glitter on their wings. Absolutely beautiful. I remember telling my children, it's okay, I see heaven. And I'm gonna, you guys are gonna be okay, I'm gonna be okay. It's beautiful here. It's so peaceful. It was a peace that there's not even words. The Bible tells us peace that passes all understanding. I can't even explain it or describe it in human words that we know. I told my son, I said, make sure your heart is right with God, because I want you to come to heaven one day and be with me forever. I looked up in the distance and I saw Jesus. I literally saw Jesus. He was further away, but he was standing there in all of his beauty and glory, and his arms were outstretched, like welcome me to him. I knew without a doubt, that that was Jesus Christ. And I was going to him, and it was like our souls connected. Again, I didn't see his face, but I saw the outline and his arms stretched out wide for me. I talked to him, not how I'm talking now. It was like in my mind, my body, soul kind of thing. So hard to explain, but so beautiful. So beautiful. I can't even words, but I've always believed in God. I've always believed in heaven. You know, I've grown up in church. I've preached about this as I was an ordained minister, and just experiencing this, so overwhelming, so again, there's no words to experience it. During this time, I did say to my kids, you know, I'm gonna be okay. I see heaven. It's real. And then my kids were saying, no, Mommy, don't leave us. Don't leave us. And my son was saying, no, it's not your time. It's not your time. We need you. We need you. And I opened my eyes and I looked in the face of my kids, and I knew I couldn't leave them yet, that they needed me. So in that instance, I looked back at Jesus again. He was in the distance. I hadn't entered heaven. I knew heaven was there. It's hard to explain. You know, people talk about their near-death experience and a white light and their bodies, them floating and seeing their bodies. I didn't see any of that. So I know I didn't die, which is hard to explain all this. I don't know. All I know is what I saw and what I experienced and what happened. Oh, okay, back to my kids were pleading for me to stay, and I looked at them, and then I looked back at Jesus, and we had a conversation, and I told him my kids needed me. I need to be here for my kids. I need to be here for my kids. They need me. And it was like he just looked at me and told me, it's okay. It's okay. Go to be with your kids. It's okay. Be with your kids. And it wasn't like a conversation thing. It was, I don't know if it's mentally, with my soul, my spirit. I don't know how to explain it. And then after he reassured me that I could be with my kids and it wasn't my time, the next thing I know, the EMTs are there and they're pulling me and putting me in the ambulance. And yeah, that's what happened. And after the fact, after I got out of the hospital, and I said to, my kids, I'm like, if you weren't there in my room that day, I would have died. But my kids were there pleading for me to stay, and I'm here.